Well, finally got a couple consecutive days without rain. Figured I'd go on a little nature walk. See if I can't find some fiddlehead ferns. They're in season again. As anybody that picks them knows, the window of opportunity comes and goes pretty fast with those. Anyone interested, if you go back in my videos, I have one last year on identifying and also processing and cooking fiddleheads. Just basic stuff. This year, if I get enough, I may try pickling and canning them. I've been reading up on it a bit, and people who do it say they're pretty good like that. Some people say they like them better. I don't know. I'm not a big one on pickled vegetables, but we'll try it. If I get enough, I'll can up a few and see how it goes. If I like them, I will can up a bunch next year. These interesting rock formations down around here. Looking at all this commercial cropland, it's not the way it used to be. Get these crops growing on all this good land, and it's putting food on the table of some local farmer. I mean, this actually does belong to a local farmer, but a farm family that had been in it for generations upon generations, and the big corporate farms come in up north. There's bigger tracts of land, and they sold all their cows, and now they grow feed and sell it to them. But I can't help thinking, all this open cropland, we could just be feeding ourselves with it instead of growing it full of corn, to process and ship to some corporate-owned gigantic dairy farm up north, so they can ship milk halfway around the country, and then halfway around the country they're shipping their stuff here, and we're buying it in the grocery store, and they're buying it in the grocery store. I brought this up before, and I've had people tell me, well, it's what keeps the trucking industry, blah blah blah, but what it's for, why we grow stuff here and ship it there, and they grow stuff there and ship it here. It's all about putting the corporations and the government as a middleman between the land and us. Simply put, that's the reason for it, because there is no other reason for it. Sophisticated thinking is what we need, not simple denial and just plain old making excuses for how things are the way they are. People wouldn't be having to live their lives on the road trucking stuff back and forth if we were all still on the land, now would they? I shouldn't let myself get sidetracked on things. Just here and enjoy this beautiful day, because this is some gorgeous country here. You know, I lived in this more or less general area my whole life, you know, within 30 miles of here. And, you know, there's been times where I wasn't satisfied with it and thought I'd go here or go there. But we've got to retrain ourselves to have some kind of roots, you know. I think the biggest problem, a lot of the underlying anxiety beyond the, you know, it's like some beavers been, I don't know if I can get that or not. Yeah, beavers been cutting trees down over there, chomping them. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Coming up on the area now, I do believe where I found a few fiddleheads last year. So we're gonna take a look. Yeah, beavers have been busy over here too. Yeah, usually I walk up on them, they scare the heck out of me, slapping their tails on the water. Tough to spot them first. They're wily critters. Yeah, garbage on the side of the road, of course. Well, amongst the discarded hard iced tea bottles and cans, I got onto some fiddleheads, but a lot of them looks like they're already going by for picking for fiddleheads, but yeah, there's still a few. If I remember right, the spot was a little ahead of the others last year, and the next spot down was about perfect. So I'll pick a few here and we'll move on. Not bad for a start. It wasn't much of a patch here, but it's always stop. It's always nice just to put a few in the bag. Feels like you're getting something done. You know, one of the most important and sometimes overlooked aspects of this style of foraging is knowledge of the seasons. I mean, you got to eat all year round, and you got to know what's where and when. You know, seasons. You know, and of course the how too. Once you get the rest covered. But yeah, something like the fiddleheads is really a good example of why knowledge of the seasons is so important, because it's something you can't be a week late on. I mean, they just barely popped up and I'm almost too late today. I probably got today and tomorrow and maybe the next day, and that's it. You know, if I get a chance to come back out. There's a bunch here. Come to Papa. I see some wildlife usually out in the marsh out there. Too far to pick up with the camera, but I lost track of it now. There's a blue heron out there somewhere, and a couple ducks, and a goose just went over honking, and I thought I got some video of it and realized I hadn't pushed the button. But it's out there swimming around now. Everything wants to be near water. It's more beaver activity right there. When they say busy as a beaver, they aren't kidding. Yeah. It's like a good place for a little break. Sit down on the soft bank. Watch the current flow by. Beautiful day. Yeah, not raining for once, and it's like probably about 60 degrees, so comfortable with a sweatshirt. And great day to be out here doing what we do. Probably can't see it, but there's a vehicle way over there. The guy just went by me. It just shows you how acclimated we are, to being in a vehicle all the time. He just come and pulled over and was convinced that as I was out here walking that something must be wrong, like I just had to be rode down or something, and I assured him that no, just out for a little casual walk, that's all. And he kind of looked at me funny and moved along. But it's how crazy we are nowadays. Look at that big old deer track. That's what we like to see. Coyote tracks too. Notice how they step right into their own track. Yeah, they're shrewd animals there. Wild and free. Yep. Big old turkey tracks too. Like we got them all here, huh? Looking out through there, I don't know, those might be duck tracks. Some kind of bird with odd feet, that's for sure. Big old bass in there swimming in the water. Little hemlock forest on the other bank. Cedars and a few pine too. Beautiful. Some raspberry bushes here. We'll make a note of that. Okay, out checking out a new spot for fiddleheads, and same as the last spot there. Starting to go by, but I'm finding a few. I thought maybe I'd take this time to show you the difference, because I saw some a ways back that were not the kind you want. If you've seen my other video, I went into this in more detail, but anyways, these are the proper kind. And one way you can tell is that brown papery stuff that goes on them. And also on the stem, as you can see, there's like a channel in the stem. The stem's not round. These are the ones you want. Later on, when I go by those other ones again, I'll show you an example of the ones you don't want. But these here, these are the edible ones. These are the ones you want to pick. Okay, these ones here, these are the poisonous ones. Do not pick and eat these. As you can see, they look similar, but the stems are round. They don't have the channel, and they don't have that brown papery stuff. Instead, they've got a white kind of hair-like residue on them. This one here, do not eat. These are poisonous. Gotta pay attention to things like that. Well, so far, other than that one patch, this area's been a little on the lean side. I'd scouted it out a little last year. But I was too late. They'd gone by, and I was pretty sure there was two spots, but I've yet to find the other one. And I go a little bit further and find them. I find them. If I don't, I don't. I think I've got plenty for a good meal, and experiment a little with canning, slash pickling. And that'll get me by this year. So, anyways, find them or not, this is going to conclude the that's an old deer rub from last year. Yeah. Sure enough, last fall's deer rub. It's actually, I found this place. I used to deer hunt up here with a friend of mine. It's a little damp and usually good for ferns. Anyways, as I was saying, this is going to conclude Nature Walk 2019 Fiddlehead edition. Be sure to keep an eye out for episode 1 of my new Tribalism and Resisting the System series. Be coming soon. Don't be afraid to hit subscribe, because you're not going to want to miss any of those. Lots of exciting stuff coming up, so hit that button.